Welcome back to yet another video. Breaking news today that Richairo Zivkovic will sign for Red Star Belgrade. Um, in the long run, we'll see how this works out, but to kind of backtrack a little bit, as a 17, 18-year-old, he was a wonder kid, as they say, coming up through Ajax's academy and playing for their first team. He was, one of the sought-after sort of youngsters at that time, 6-7 years ago, and he had the ability to play for either the Netherlands or Serbia, and there was a little bit of a kind of like a tug of war between the two national teams who he's going to play for, and it's been pretty much downhill since then. He hasn't represented either Serbia nor Netherlands, so he never got to represent either A team or first team, so to say. He's bounced around a little bit the last 4 or 5 seasons, where he's had 4 or 5 different clubs. Last season, he was at Sheffield United. I really thought it was going to be a breakthrough for him because he would get to showcase his skill. Not really the case. He went to China as well, where he had a number of goals in just a handful of matches. I think it was like 11, 12 matches. He had 4 or 5 goals. So he brings something to Red Star that we don't really have, and that's speed. We haven't had a player this fast since Nemanja Radonjic was with the club, and that was 4 or 5 seasons ago now, or 3, 4, whatever the case may have been. But the good thing for Zivkovic is he will get a chance to kind of prove himself. He could play multiple positions, so center forward, left wing, right wing. I think that Pavkov should still be the player at center forward because he is in great form. But if he does need a day off, I think that's somewhere where you could play Zivkovic. You also still have Diony on the bench. We'll see what happens with him. There's rumors that we could possibly terminate his contract. You have someone like Krstovic, who gets criticized for his conversion rate, although he's a hard worker. And then you have Marko Lazetic, who is a 17-year-old, up-and-comer and basically the future of the club. What a lot of people want us to believe, but don't be surprised if he's sold by the time he's 18, 19 years of age. So we'll see where Zivkovic kind of slots in. When you look at the attacking third, you have Ivanic and Kataj, who are going to start pretty much every match. And then there's that one position, usually right wing, where, it's if Ben is in form, he's the player that's going to be starting there. Falco's had a bit of a tough time adjusting since he joined from Lecce. There's rumors that he could be sold. So there's kind of that one position where it's kind of up for grabs, and if Zivkovic can do well once he joins Red Star, it could be his position where he can kind of start every match for the team. But look, there's a lot of competition going on here. We have the domestic league, domestic cup, and then now you have Europa League. So there's a lot of matches, a lot of kind of time to prove yourself. But there's obviously a lot of pressure on Zivkovic. The salary that he is going to play at. Luckily for him, you have guys like Ivanic and Kataj who have extraordinary vision, who are just going to be licking their chops now that we have a guy like Zivkovic signed. It seems like we have players at every position who could kind of do a little something. Our only weakness was really speed, and Gavric was supposed to be kind of that guy to provide us with that. Never really got a chance, and eventually was sold to Ferencváros in Hungary. So now with Zivkovic, like I said, there's going to be some pressure here on him, but he has a nice team around him where they can kind of make him feel at home. And if he does really well, like I said, he should have that position kind of cemented where he can start. And like I said, the only thing that I'm really kind of worried about is he's bounced around a lot since he's been labeled, with a highly touted youngster. And like I said, I thought at Sheffield he was really going to get some real minutes to kind of showcase what he's about. I think he also had some injuries last season as well that kind of pushed him back a little bit. But hopefully for Red Star, a good signing. Feels like we've whiffed a lot on players recently. Guys like Diony, Krstovic is starting to kind of come into the fold a little bit now. But hopefully he does well for the club. Like I said, he has players around him who could really make him successful, and he's pretty much we haven't had a speedster like him since Radonjic, and that's been 3 or 4 seasons. So I wish him the best, and hopefully he's able to make a difference for this team going forward.